This is Real Talk.
Real Talk.
Yo, this is Ryder, and you're locked into Real Talk.
To Real Talk with Labzy.
Labzy! Ladies and gentlemen, I'm yours truly, the legend himself, Labzy, aka the best motherfucker you ever met in the history of your life, and I can prove it to you even though I shouldn't. The most loyal, the most honest, and the most respected. Now, if you haven't seen my recent post, and to be honest, it's one of my greatest achievements, to be honest with you, which is still floating in my head, but oh man, I could not have been so much happier. See, I can't even use my words. I have to use my words. And so if you guys haven't checked that out, I am going to be doing some editing, because obviously it is the unedited version of that interview with Mike D. So I'm going to be doing that and fixing it up, and then I'll be doing that. But today, I have a very special guest. He's been this is actually the first time on the show, but I have done projects with him. I've also done wrestling ring announcing for him, and I did a really good job according to him. And, I had the perfect energy. I had the perfect, just sort of the rhythm of it, and it was a lot of fun. And he wanted to do another interview, so I'm like, you know what? Yes, let's do another interview. Because the first time I did an interview was mostly kind of like just me and him kind of just talking about like with workouts and stuff like that, just to sort of, test the fields a bit much. You know what I mean? So I'm going to bring him in. I'm going to bring him in right now. And he's not just a rapper. He's not just a wrestler. He's, man, we would say he would be an entrepreneur. So, ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you SaulBraddockX. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, bro. How you doing?
Man, blessed is an understatement at this point, to be really honest with you. Especially with the recent achievement that I did yesterday. And yeah, bro, it's just everything's just climbing up right now, and things are becoming way busier for me in a positive way. So I'm very blessed right now, bro. So, but I still got to obviously got to look after my people as well, such as yourself. So raising the first question with you, bro, how was your mental health?
Mental health, bro. I don't know, man. I think I'm pretty fried, actually. I've been so busy lately.
Yeah.
It's been pretty full on, man. I think at the moment, mental strength. I think that would be the right question, bro. Like, how strong am I mentally at the moment? I'd say pretty damn strong, bro.
Yeah. What's been happening, bro? Like, talk to me, bro. What's been going on in your world?
Well, man, it's been bouncing off either one business to another. So at the moment, we've got a few projects with our wrestling promotion, UEW. And that's been a hell of a lot of work, especially to prep, because we have a fair few new recruits. And so getting them all prepped up has been, it's been a ton of work, man. But then, the other half of the day consists of me with personal training and getting that off the ground. So just, been doing a lot there as well, along with music. So uploading a lot of music, bro. That's, I think the goal is at the moment to just release one a month, just while we're doing all the other things and trying to fit them all into one day, bro. It's been a lot of work.
And to be honest, that already sounds a lot as it is, because again, just as you said, you're trying to fit everything into one day. It's just like, try to get the timing right. Like, do I have enough time for this, and do I have time enough for that? And I think now it's breaking out of the old routine, because I think we were so comfortable with it, and then now the universe is like, you know what? No, you know that you're better than this. We're going to force you to be in a different routine that takes you to the next level, closer to the universe. So that's what it
100%.
does.
Yeah, 100%. I think that once you get comfortable with the routine, naturally it's going to try and find a way to refine itself. So, and usually it comes in the form of some kind of noise. So let's say you think you've got it, and then something pops up in between these routines that makes you challenged again.
Mm.
And it's just about sticking to those routines or trying to find your way back to it and refining the system so that you can allow more in.
Mm. Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Because again, we all know we're all designed for something greater, especially with any gifts that God has given us. You know, we have the gift to really just push on through and really just experiment with it, see how we go. And obviously not just with the wrestling stuff for you, it's also with the music as well. Obviously with your writing skills, you're always pushing yourself and stuff like that. So which does raise the question, like, do you feel like this has now become kind of like the lifestyle for you now?
100%. Yeah. Yeah. Because I think that without a lifestyle, there's nothing really that you can build. You got to know the patterns of your day and then try and find ways to systemize it. Because the minute you do that, it's become almost like a program that you're running through the day. And then by the end of it, you have something, well, it's easier to review the day if it's systemized, So everything that I do from, the minute I wake up to the minute I go to bed, I try to take control of in regards to understanding from my end, what's the operation? So kind of like a training program, right? It's like you don't just walk into the gym randomly. You have a set of exercises and a whole bunch of things that you've got planned to do. And then it's just about meeting, or putting two and two together and meeting halfway with the unexpected things that happen as well, along with, going through those routines.
Yeah, nice. No, I like that. No, because that's absolutely right. Now, talk to me about what, because you were obviously talking about UEW before. And obviously, I was just mentioning in the intro that I was the ring announcer for that, and obviously, Laverton Market became a really good success. We ended up having like a few people watching, and they really enjoyed that show that we did. And so now, how is the growth with Urban Elite Wrestling? How is the growth since then?
It's been amazing, man. We've gone from having, 10 people following per month to having 200 to having 600 per month.
Damn.
So it's been an amazing. We've been making great progress especially in regards to getting eyes on the brand and people interested in the product. Even with Laverton Market, we actually excelled, bro. When we did a count of how many heads came in, we had ended up having about 150 people all up for each match. Like all three matches put together. So, and the goal was 70.
Wow.
To have in front of us. So we ended up doubling that. And so that was a huge success. Definitely letting everyone know about that. That was part of the project.
So what was going through your mind when you realized those numbers were basically looking at you saying 150 people basically were joining in? You got 200 people, interested, trying out these types of things. When you look at those things, like what comes through to your mind?
I need bigger goals.
Yeah.
That's what came to my mind straight away. I'm like, oh man, I think I can push for bigger.
Yeah.
I can get more traction on this. And I think having that in the back of my mind is what's helping us to push forward physically. Even though let's say the target was 70, but expect more. That's I think that's why it worked so well, because the target is 70 realistically based off me and the group. But ultimately in my mind, my expectancy is let's fill up the whole place. Let's have and just an absurd number rock up. And then you kind of find you end up receiving something that's kind of in the middle, I've noticed.
Okay. Yeah, no, I love that. And then now even when I see like the videos and stuff like that, you are training like more people, especially like on the mat. Like obviously we got Sadi as well, and obviously there's a few others. And yeah, man. So what's happening next with it? So what's next with UEW?
Oh, well, some of it is a surprise, so I'm definitely not going to share it just yet. I keep my cards very close.
Of course, but
But
what can you
ultimately,
what can you tell me and
yeah,
my viewers? Like, you
yeah,
can give us a little bit of crumbs. Give us some crumbs.
100%. Well, at the moment, it's about showcasing these new students that have been, oh man, they've been 110% committed to seeing this vision through, and really just creating a new way of how pro wrestling can be done. Because it's obviously a new concept, but we've extracted a lot of things that are classical, a lot of things that are more traditional in our approach to how we work with each other and how we do stuff together. But done in a new way, of course, through social media and whatnot. But really just that, man. Like right now, the goal is to make them the absolute best products that Australian pro wrestling has ever seen. And doing it in a very different way.
Okay. No, I like that. So talk to me about if there has been any backlash, because I know that when we were before the show of Laverton Market, we obviously will have conversations about backlashing and people saying that no, this is not the real thing, and that whole conversation. Like what now? Because we're seeing the growth now. We're seeing the growth of UEW. Is the backlash still happening? Like, or is there people trying to stop you? Like, if so, how do you kind of keep the goal in line? How does that?
Yeah.
How is that? How do you keep that in your head?
Well, in all honesty, I haven't received any help from anyone in the industry because it's a totally new thing that we're creating here. Outside of that, we've had people try to sabotage our operations. They've been trying to tell our students not to come to me and not train in this way because he's not professionally trained in the modern pro wrestling way, which is absolute trash. I trained for 2 years before this in 2016, 2017 to learn what I needed and then extracted what I needed to create my own thing, you know, and that's just one. And you know, shockingly, that's from promoters. That's a promoter reaching out, not even like a worker.
Wow.
You know, it's not even like that. And, you know, and the thing is also what's even more shocking is he didn't even come to me about that. He just goes straight to my students and thinks he can dodge me in order to do that. Whereas at least with me, I'm the judge, jury, and executioner of UEW, man. Like I'm the guy that's at the front of the camera and just saying it how it is, man. And I think that makes people very nervous.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we're even in comment threads right now on other promotions that are mocking what we do. And I'm like, well, at least your eyes are on me.
Yeah, exactly.
It just
Because
shows that we must be doing something special.
and doing something right as well. If you haven't got the competition trying to destroy you, then you're not doing something right. To be
Yeah,
honest with you.
100%. That's the way I gauge it, man. So really, like whenever that comes in, and we get it regularly. I mean, we get people try to malign us, especially on the DMs. They send through what they think about me.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it's because I must be doing something goddamn right.
Yeah.
It must be hella good if I'm me in my backyard with a tripod and a market like Laverton are making you nervous, you know?
Yeah.
That's how I look
And
at
then
it.
because you know what it is, because they see the potential as well. They know for a fact that what you're doing is it's obviously it's the real professional wrestling. It's the real the love of the sport. You know what I mean? And because obviously in the marketing world that people just want to be entertained, and that's the business right there. It's like, well, no, there's still the entertainment, but we have to keep it respectful as well as the love of the sport at the end of the day, right?
100%. And given that the product is actually telling a wrestling story, the
Yeah.
product needs to actually tell that story because it's so true. Like I love what I teach the guys here because I was talking about the older generations. Like if you look at, well, you know what? There was a guy by the name of Jim Cornette. He did an audio on YouTube. You listen to it. He talks about how Ric Flair trained someone out of his backyard. So, you know Ric Flair, yeah?
Yeah, the name sounds familiar, yes.
Legendary pro wrestler, man, but actually one of the greatest to ever do it. And he had to prep someone within 2 weeks for pretty much a stadium-filled like capacity wrestling show. And the guy came over his house. He had no ring. Actually, he had less than I have in my backyard. And he said, let's have a barbecue, and then I'll teach you how to wrestle. And then from there, they went out the backyard with a space no bigger than mine, and they grabbed each other and started working. And then in 2 weeks, that guy's on the show. 2 weeks, man. It just goes to show you how full of trash a lot of places are.
Yeah.
Especially because of, like, what are you filling them up with? You're just filling them up with moves. You're filling them up with techniques. You're filling them up with all this garbage. Where really all they need to learn is how do you move like a wrestler and tell a story with it? Because they ain't the moves that sell.
Correct.
Not really. Like, not the great. Like, that's the difference between greatness and average, man. Is like the greatest they'll find a backyard and they can do anything out of it. But then average, they need everything they need everything, bro. They need the facility. They need the air conditioning on. They need everything to be nice and smooth and everything works the way they expect. Whereas with here, I kind of try not to expect anything besides a new challenge.
Yeah,
and then just go with the
exactly.
flow of those challenges.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at even if you look at wars in the medieval times, right? They would go to war whether it's rain or shine. They don't care
100%.
because they because at the end of the day they stand in what they believe in, and that's what
Yeah,
and then they fight. That's basically what that should be like in every aspect of life, where it doesn't matter, like example, like when we were growing up, like I mean, I'm not sure about how you grew up, but when I grew up, it's like it doesn't matter if you're sick, you're still going to school or you're still going to work, because we have to keep going. It's not the fact that where it's about the money or whatever, but it's the mentality of
yeah,
hard work where. Yeah, rain or shine, heat, cold, it doesn't matter. We got to get on the grind because it's the last thing we want to do is just be lazy and be, like it's just a waste of existence, really.
100%, man. And that's the thing. I think even talking about like childhood, well, that's pretty much where you're formed, man. So even the way that I kind of deal with everything here, that's all the techniques that I'm using right now. It really comes down to how I survived as a kid in certain areas, which was a very interesting thing, man. My childhood was definitely not I suppose, the usual way that kids are meant to be raised. But at the
Mm.
time, I had a lot of problems with it. But then as time goes on, I'm able to utilize the skills of how I had to survive certain environments now in business to be, creatively speaking, always kind of like challenging the status quo and seeing what I can come up with in regards to experimenting and seeing, what can I kind of get away with, and what because if you can get away with it, it means the rules, the systems that they currently have are trash.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So
and
if
then
I,
even yes,
yeah,
even my man Ron from the Ponderer podcast saying
right.
that it's a good foundation is never rushed, which is absolutely correct.
Yeah, because you can't rush art. Some
Hmm.
people can rush, they think they can rush business, but that's why business fails. You know what I mean? Because
Well, it's the
business
same
is
thing.
art.
It's the same thing as when you go viral that one time and you get forgotten not that long after, to be
Yeah,
honest.
100%. And that's why, like, even if you look at the Instagrams that I have, they're all systems.
Mm,
Like, I just make sure to try and document everything at the same time every
mm,
day, and just keep developing, because it's true, man. It's like at the end of the day, I'm not here. Like, business is not to be liked, right? It's to be respected, because when it's
correct.
respected,
Mm,
it means they clearly understand the service you're providing.
exactly right. And how your business serves the people, really.
Yeah, 100%. And also, in these earlier stages, it's really just about forming those systems and making sure that they can last a lifetime.
Mm,
And I think the greatest that ever do it, that's how they did it. I mean, if you look at like a Tech Nine and Rap,
mm,
or even like the bigger companies that are still here in wrestling, well, it's because they abide by a system, they modify that system, and they're always creatively pushing the envelope.
mm.
But it's always pushing the envelope through their system.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Well, it is true. So, are you? So, okay. So, what? Hang on. I know. I just had a question in my head, and now it's all gone. I hate it when this happens to me. Um. Hmm. When it comes to the wrestling preparation, right?
Yeah.
How do you know when to put which wrestlers first? Like, for example, in the Laverton Market event that we had, right? You obviously had Sadi first with Aris, and then you had Aris with you, or
No,
was there something
starting with
else?
me.
Starting with you. Okay. So how did that? So like, how does that? How do you create that perfect kind of like lineup? Like, how does the lineup work in the wrestling world?
Okay, so with the first, again, with the first event, the thing was that we didn't really have much time to
Mm,
pair energies, and that's actually kind of good too, because when you do that, it's more sporadic, but
mm,
sporadic in a safe kind of space.
mm,
So I wasn't too sure how Aris and Sadi were going to go, and so I
mm,
had to go back to the drawing board after that match and start thinking about, okay, well, how can I prep them a little bit more strategically so the story's being told rather than it just feeling like two guys attacking each other,
mm,
because you're still meant to be portraying the story of athlete versus athlete given their uniqueness, you know.
mm.
And I think that that's more so from the coach or promoter's point of view. It's like, okay, that looked a little bit, like, but it's more so from my eyes. In regards to me and Aris, though, that was really good. Like, I think towards the end, and also me and Sadi, our matches were actually great. Because I was able to kind of wrestle at whatever energy or whatever level they were at. You know what I mean? So just kind of, my whole goal as a pro is just to match his energy and kind of let him express himself as much as possible rather than me just getting my stuff in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's really what I focused on throughout the match. And that's why I think with Sardis, it went really well, man. And then with Aris at the end, it also went well. Yeah, bro. So it's really just about like, it's almost like reading the energy that reflects and then trying to match it given whatever level they're at.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. So okay. So it's basically kind of you're working with your opponent, if that makes sense.
100%, yeah. Because at the same time, like even with and that's true for anything, man. Even Olympic wrestling, you wouldn't get an 80-kilo guy with wrestling a 60-kilo guy and then destroy the 60-kilo guy. You have to take care of him. You got to.
Yeah.
You just have to. It's just you don't need to, but it's just ethical. It's just like it means that you have integrity as a contestant, not just as because a wrestler is not a fighter. He's an athlete. He's there to promote the sport more than himself. And so, the drive to win is good, but it's kind of like when you see, when you watch those movies. Have you seen Cars?
Of course.
That's a great example, bro. Like remember like the end where the legend gets pushed off the road. Guy, and then like McQueen stops and understands the point of the sport.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, and then he quickly goes and grabs him.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the thing. You got to think in terms of win-win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if it's not along the lines of win-win and you win, you're still a loser.
Yeah. Well, that's right. Because the reason why I asked that was because that people would think, as you said, we get the 60-kilo guy and the 80-kilo guy. People would think, like the audience would think, nah, this 60-kilo guy is going to get squashed, to be honest. And then it just feels like there's not going to be any mercy. And do you feel like and if people do see where, the 80-kilo guy is not looking after the opponent, do you feel like the audience is going to be kind of disappointed because they're kind of expecting that the 80-kilo guy is just going to squash the 60-year-old guy, but then we'll see what happens. Like, does that kind of work like that? Like, how do you think the audience see? Like, what are you expecting the audience to see or to actually feel from the wrestling match?
Well, I think from a professional wrestling, like from the eyes of a professional wrestler, if you're 80 kilos and that guy's 60 kilos, you're not there to squash him. You're here to dominate him, but not embarrassingly destroy him.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? Because that's not the point of wrestling itself as a story.
Yeah.
The story, you know what I mean? Because it is the upholding of wrestling. It's like we've lost it because we're not wrestling educated anymore. We're entertainment educated. So, and that's the big difference between like our generation and any generation that's come after the 90s really is that we are not educated to watch this as wrestling. We're educated to watch it as entertainment. And with that, we've lost the story. We're losing it more and more.
Yeah.
So this kind of, and even in the product itself, the products don't even understand this way of thinking as a wrestler anymore. They think, and you can even have an MMA competitor. You can have a jiu-jitsu guy come in and they still don't understand the story of pro wrestling. And so you just got a guy that is an MMA or is a Brazilian jiu-jitsu and he understands techniques and moves, but he doesn't know how to tell it like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's the thing. And the only way to kind of revive that is to just do your homework on the earlier stages of this industry.
Yeah. And also re-education as well, because especially just as you said, if we're coming from the entertainment side and then we're coming to, the professional, respectful side, right?
Yeah.
It is going to be, would you say it's a little bit of a challenge that we have to re-educate people, especially kids as well? Do you think it's a bit? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Because the thing is that I'm battling against an entertainment culture, not a wrestling culture. Whenever I'm if we're talking in regards to my competitors, I'm talking, it's like speaking to a bunch of people that don't understand wrestling education. They're not here for the education of wrestling and the culture of wrestling, like the actual craft itself, being developed into the communities. It's just entertainment for, I don't know, families to be happy about, but not actually pick up, you know?
Yeah.
And what would they pick
No, I
up? Like, kids would just pick up entertaining people, not really educating them on anything. And education, man, it's not just school. Like, education means to draw something out of them that can apply to their lives and be useful. You know,
Yeah, that's true.
and
Yeah.
that's a big issue with like entertainment these days. We've forgotten that we're meant to educate through the entertainment for them to do things outside in their personal lives that serves them to become more useful as civilians.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, look, I mean, honestly, I wish nothing but the best for this wrestling thing for you, man. I mean, and again, I'll be assisting as best as I can with all of that, and because I know we don't really have much time, but I want to talk about your music a little bit, just a little bit before we go.
Yes.
So how is so in spite of with all that you're doing, being obviously being so crazy busy with all the wrestling and everything like that, how how is the music how is the music going for you? Like, do you feel like your skills are even coming even more like you do you and plus do you even use wrestling references in your lyrics as well?
Well, it's interesting. I don't really use wrestling references, but usually my music comes from whatever's reflecting in my day.
Okay.
So if something confronts me, I'll find a way to transmute it into the lyrics. And it's usually a lot of the challenges that I'm clashing with throughout the day. That is the energy for the songs.
Okay.
But yeah, man, that it's been really good. I think the main aim at the moment, especially in songwriting, is find the point of vulnerability by the end of the day and then share it. So that's been the
Okay.
big thing. And so whatever I'm psychologically going through, by the end of the day, I try to put it pen and pad, even if it ends up not being something that I release. It's just there documented because you just don't know who it's for, bro. You know, so I try to get my ego out of the way and just like, just upload it. Yeah, same as the wrestling, bro. I don't know who it's for, so I'm just like, especially at such an early stage, like, just don't worry about what I think about it. Let's just like put it out there, and then we'll see what comes back, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Of course. So, which and that's what I like about you as well, because you are constantly releasing. Because I've come across a lot of artists who really just hold themselves back because they're such perfectionists with their creativity, which is fair. Because I mean, you wanna bring your gift to the world and really get praised for it and stuff like that. And yeah, but a lot of people get scared because at the end of the day, um at the end of the day, like, this is again, just as you said, like someone could be waiting for it. Someone can be who needs it right now, and they need the lyrics, like the lyricism of your skills as an
Yeah.
artist to have that in their possession. Like they're hungry for it. Someone out there is hungry for it.
Yeah.
Whether not
Yeah.
now, maybe even 3, 4, 5 years in the time, because in the world of Spotify and obviously with the Apple Music and stuff, it's going to be there.
Yeah, 100%. And even in saying that, like, I do understand that viewpoint, especially at an earlier stage of my development as an artist with music, especially music, because music's one of those things that, it can be quite scary to put it out and then see, like, because a lot of people, like, everyone has a very mixed review on what's coming out and what they're listening to.
Yeah.
Until you've gained enough exposure for someone for a group of people to be like, hey, this sounds great. So, like, let's say if you go to like a network meeting or a cypher and you rap, well, it's actually quite mixed reviews in the audience because it's just like, that's just the way it starts. But at the end of the day, it's again, like, because I systemize how I produce. So I do the same thing every day and I just refine and try and go as deep as I can with what I'm saying. So I might start out talking about, I don't know, like greatness or like the motivation that I have. But then I try to, within a month, go into the depth of that and be like, well, what's psychologically the reason why I feel that way? Like, what is it that I psychologically battle against that makes me think that I need to be so motivated for life in this way or whatever it might be? Because greatness is usually from darkness. It comes from like a dark childhood, a dark background, someone you're battling against constantly internally.
Yeah.
And that's the scary part. If I can get there within the 30 days and then release that part, that's done, because then that's therapy.
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
like that.
And so it's really just about that. And that's why I haven't really, I don't really network too heavily or anything like that. I just focus on documenting the process. Because Instagram, man, like it's an amazing tool where I'm talking to you right now, and who knows what this leads to. And
Correct.
just like that, bro, and it's like a great way of just putting your catalog out, and people can tell exactly who you are from outside. And once you release it in the world, you can forget about it as an artist and just move on to the next thing.
Okay. Yeah, no, I like that, bro. And I've always liked your music, bro, because you're like, I love your wordplay. Like, I love how you kind of put it like a boogie rhythm into your lyricism as well. That actually, but it's deep at the same time. So
Yeah.
I really like that, bro. And
Thank you, bro.
no, bro. And my man Ron says, how can people who cannot make it for matches access them? Are you recording them?
Yeah, 100%, man. So we actually are recording our next bunch of matches, bro. If you go to YouTube, it's under UEW Australia, and pretty much everything will be
Australia.
Yeah, and pretty much everything that we, even like every day, what we do for training, we usually just upload it all to YouTube straight away. So even with the live events for the next shows that we do, it's just going to be all there for you to watch. So I'd probably say that would be your best bet for now is YouTube.
Yeah, beautiful. All right. Was there anything else you wanted to add, brother? Because I know you have a bit of short time, but is there anything else you want to add before we go?
How is your mental health, bro?
Oh my God! If if I had the ability to walk on clouds right now, I would do it and just jump from one cloud to the other. That's how incredible my mind is right now.
Very nice, bro. That's good. Well,
And there's
I
more
hope
coming.
Yeah, 100%. I was about to say that. I was like, I hope you get more coming, man.
Oh, bro, you have no idea. You have no idea. Like, I was just reflecting, especially with the special guests yesterday that I had. Like, again, this OG is going back to 1995.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's he's one of those people that when he talks, everybody listens. They know who he is. They know all the journey with hip hop. He's watched hip hop change over the years since the 90s, so he knows.
Yeah.
And having the opportunity to talk with him and have a really great conversation, like the anxiety went through the roof right after I interviewed him, and then I just turned into a fanboy. So it was
And I think
great.
another word
It
for
was just
anxiety is it's really adrenaline, bro.
correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
if you can frame it like that, man, I think doors open amazingly when you frame it as adrenaline.
Oh yeah.
You know? Yeah.
And then, as I said, bro, there's more coming. So I can't wait, and I'll be revealing everything very soon. So you got to stay tuned with that.
Will do, bro.
All right, we're done.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
All right.
You tell
And
me, bro.
so all right, before we go quickly, I just want to let you know, SaulBraddockX, you are a successful man because you are you are doing what you love doing. You're getting results, whether it's minor or major, and you're not giving up. That equals a successful person to me.
100%. Thank you, bro.
Right? And I want you and my man Ron, I want you to go follow him, go follow the wrestling, go follow the music, go follow everything. And yeah, go support this man, and you might see me more in his videos too.
100%.
Who knows?
100%.
Who knows? All right, well, I want to say thank you for all the people that have joined in as well. This is going to be on YouTube and Spotify. And yeah, so Saul, you enjoy the rest of your day, sir. And we'll definitely speak soon, all right?
All right, awesome. Thank you, bro.
No worries, bro. Have a good day.
You too. Take care. Bye.
This is Real Talk.
Real talk. Yo, this is Ryder, and you're locked into Real Talk.
To Real Talk with Labzy.
Labzy.